Good afternoon, everybody, and a very warm welcome to Berringer. And today is general knowledge, so it's a little bit of everything today. Today it's a bit of a layout update, a bit of Q&A, and also I have a couple of locos to show you. So without further ado, we're just going to get straight on with it. And the first thing I'm going to show you are my loco. So here's one of them. And basically this is a Kerno exclusive, and this is Scott Rail, class 47706 with the NSC branding on it. And basically I wanted to get this loco for a long time, and the only place you can get it is from Kerno Models, and I paid a little bit of a premium for it, I think, more than what you'd pay for a normal 47, to be truthful with you. But it was one for my collection, because back in the day, I used to see them in and around London Paddington. And so I used to see this from time to time, and it's also something a bit different, rather than the NSC or the Intercity. And also, its state. Apparently, this is the first time that Batman have ever produced a loco in this sort of heavily beaten state themselves, I think. So I've been told, and she doesn't disappoint. I have to say, it's pretty badly beaten, and you can't fault it really. To be honest with you, it's like all the other 47s that I own from Batman. It runs perfectly well. There's no issues with it whatsoever. It has everything you expect from it, and she just looks absolutely lovely. I'm not going to dwell too much on it because obviously I've got quite a lot to get through, but I'll just sort of give you a shot of her as you can see her, and I'll just sort of give you sort of a side view, and then from the other end. So this is kind of going back in time a little bit with my layout in terms of back to the NSC era. And I've had it running with some of my NSC coaches, and it looks really nice. So it has been running, and it runs really well. So my other loco that's turned up is this class 33, also known as a Crompton. It's 33202, and it's called the Burma Star in the Civil Engineers Dutch livery. I do actually own one already. I own a blue one, blue 33, Hertfordshire Rail Tours, and it runs really lovely and smooth. And I do love 33s, and 33s run on the southern region and were around the 80s, late 80s, and early 90s, carrying the Civil Engineers livery. And I saw this, and I thought, yeah, I do like 33s. It's in the right colour, and it will go lovely with a rake of. I've actually got a rake of sea lions or sea cows. I can never remember which way round they are. I think they're sea lions, and ballast wagons, so they can run with those or any other wagons that I might have. And it's a lovely little loco, and it's a lovely little runner too. And it's a great little model from Helgen. So that's the side view of it, and this is the other end, the number one end. This hasn't actually run on my layout yet. This is only just sitting here. It hasn't actually run. I only got this yesterday, but I've been doing some major engineering works on the layout, and so that's why this hasn't actually run, and we'll get onto that in just a moment. So before we go any further, I just wanted to do a little bit of Q&A, because on my last video there was a couple of questions regarding the Berringer station update that I did recently, and one of them was from Railway 31, also known as Darren. He's a good friend of mine, and he asked me that he said he basically said, "Hi Susanna, I'm loving the update, really coming along nicely. I love the AX2. May I ask where you got the paint you used for the NSC red, as I'm trying to find the right shade of red, as signal red doesn't seem right. Cheers, Darren. So basically the red that I use for my NSC isn't actually and it's not actually a railway colour. It was basically recommended to me by my local model shop. They said, oh, I was looking for some paint, and he said, have you tried this? They do a nice selection of colours. Basically, this is it. It's apparently it's wargaming colours. I'm not actually too sure, but he actually stocks it. There's a number of numbers on it, but I always going to sort of go with, it's basically model colour it's called, and Vermilion or whatever, 70909 or Vermilion or whatever it is. But like I said, I don't know which number people use, to be honest with you. But that's the colour that I use, and that I have been using, and it really is kind of like a little goes a long way with this bottle. It's just a little, you just undo the top and you just squeeze a little bit out, and it just goes on really nicely. And it to me it seems like it's the right colour, and that's why I guess I've been using it a lot, because I too, like Darren, was using some other reds and I didn't quite feel it was right. In fact, one of the benches that I had, I repainted it back into this red because it was a different red, and I repainted it into this red to sort of marry it all up. So Darren, that's basically what it is. It's this model colour stuff. I don't know, like I said, I know you get it in your model centre, which is my local model shop, but other than that, I don't know whether like maybe Games Workshop, because like I said, somebody told me it was a wargaming paint, so maybe they do it in there. So you can try them if there's a Games Workshop anywhere near you. So that covers that question. Now the next question came from it was from Simon, Liverton Central, and he was basically the comment was, as you can probably read, very nice update, Susanna. I did like the folding door you created using the folding paper, which I will show you shortly. I can see them all working well on industrial units having the folding doors. Did you make the entire bridge from folded paper, or parts thereof? And are all your lighting made using Christmas lights, which are very effective? So to cover all of that, these were the lights I used originally. I've been sort of beating the drum a little bit on these for some time, for years now. Every Christmas I go down to Poundland, and if I can fetch these, I will buy these. But I did notice that there's actually a slight variation between the two packs that I bought over the 2 years, and that's had a little bit of an impact with the lighting, because what I used was I created a lighting bar for the canopy using a bit of moulding from Wix's, which I'll show you shortly. And basically I then drilled the holes and basically poked the LEDs through them. But as you can see on this particular one, it's actually a little bit on the bulbous side, and that particular one doesn't seem to like going in there, and it needs a bigger hole, which is quite tight because the width of the actual moulding is only just about slightly wider than that is. Now on the original ones, which is this one here, you can see it doesn't have that bulbous end to it, and it's very much more streamlined. And those ones were the ones that I used on the canopy. Now on the ones that I'm about to show you that I've just done on the other canopy, I've had to use these ones because these are the ones that I have mainly remaining. As you can see, all of these ones are yet to be used, and these are all the more bulbous ones. So so there's two types, unbeknownst to me. I mean, obviously they've changed the design slightly from one year to the next, but that has made things slightly more difficult. So this bit is my lighting bar, and this is a piece of moulding that I bought from Wix for about, I think it's about £3, £3.20, £3.50, something like that. And essentially that runs the whole length of the canopy like that. And then you got a kind of yes-no arrangement with the lighting. And basically, as you can see with the lighting, they're on this daisy chain, and that determines where the holes go on the moulding. And basically what I do is I stretch it out the length so the wire is nice and stretched, so that means it doesn't come loose or hanging underneath. So basically that's what I do, and then I just put one on one side, if I can try and do this one-handed, and then one goes the other way like that, as you can sort of see, like that. I know it's a bit awkward, but I'll try and show it to you. Hang on a sec. Sorry about it, it's me trying to do these things one-handed just doesn't work. So if you can imagine it like that. So one goes that way, the next one goes to me, the other one goes out, and that gives out a nice light all the way through, rather than having all of the lighting facing on one side. So that gives like an even lighting arrangement all the way down the canopy. And basically what I've done is drilled, I don't know if this is coming out, there you go. So basically what I've done is I've drilled out holes through here, but as you can appreciate, it's very, very tight, and especially with the bulbous ones, they're even tighter. But basically you then just push fit through the holes, and then that becomes your lighting canopy. And then obviously you just, before I basically attach it, you just paint it up. So that's how I've done that. And that's just for this island one. I mean, obviously for the ones on the end here, like these ones, they're all the lighting's going to be facing towards me, because it doesn't need to go the other way. So what else have I been up to? So hopefully, Simon, this sort of helps. The other thing that Simon was mentioning was the doors that I put on here. So I've done the doors here. Now you can see them slightly better on the other side. I've actually now done the top. I don't know if I showed you this on the last video, but I've done that. Capped it, put some matchsticks on it, and now that kind of gives it a nice little effect. There's still bits that I need to do on this. I've done the roof, and that again is my usual sort of standard one. It sort of matches that one there. And on this side you can sort of see the actual effect that the paper, it has been concertinaed and folded up. So you just fold it up, now it just looks like shutters. So like I said, like Simon says, you can use it on the warehouse. And like I said, if you haven't seen his channel, go to his channel. He's currently building a layout, and he does all sorts of stuff, so it's worth checking out. So yeah, like he says, you can use this on the industrial units, but I've tended to use it because you used to see this a lot on Network Southeast stations, the red sort of shutters. One of the other things that I've done is one of the big jobs I've done is I've now added the canopy on platform 5. I've been working a lot on platform 5. I've actually added a wall in as well. I haven't finished it because I haven't ribbed it on the top, because over here on the top here, I'm not sure whether that corner I'm maybe going to put some low relief high rises to give the impression of depth in the distance, and that there's a town sort of behind the station type of thing. So I'm not sure if I'm going down that road yet. What I'm currently doing is I'm going to live with this for a little while, see if I like it, see if it bugs me, or whether I'm happy to leave it as it is, or whether I feel like it needs something. If it does, I'll do it. If not, I'll just leave it. It's not a problem. So yeah, I've done the walling at the back and all the way down here. So platform 5 is now coming along nicely, but you can't really see it properly. So let me switch on these lights here so you can have a better look. And it's all lit up underneath as well. And this is using the same technique, basically that piece of moulding, drill some holes through it, thread the daisy chain Christmas lighting through it, and that gives it this kind of look. Now I do have a shot of it in the dark, and I will add it to the end of this video so you can have a look, so you can sort of see it in the dark. But I'm toying with the idea of maybe putting a red parcels little building under there and making that maybe a parcels platform, or maybe a bit of both, I don't know. So at the moment these are just some random benches that I've still got that I've painted up. So yeah, so that's what else I've been doing. Also, another thing I've been doing is something not so glamorous, but basically I took up the track here and I've relayed it. There was a few issues, and basically I've relayed it for better performance, basically. So I've just decided to redo it. So that's something else, but that's been pretty time consuming because the dark section, the black section onwards was all ballasted, so I had to take that all up and basically clean the track and redo the track and all the rest of it. So that's been time consuming job today that I've been doing. And the last bit that I've been doing, if that wasn't enough, is just adding just a few bits and pieces, just a few of these mirrors that you used to see on the NSE sort of stations for the driver, so you can look down the line and see whether or not there's people boarding or not. But obviously, with this being a curved platform, there'll probably have to be a guard sort of somewhere along here to sort of wave them off and blow the whistle and all sorts and whatnot. So that's pretty much it, because I can't really work on the front bit because I really wanted to work on the back bit, so I'm not constantly knocking on things. So that's why I'm sort of starting from the back and working my way to the front. But a lot has been done, as you can appreciate. Like I said, it's coming along nicely and we're getting there. Any sort of questions or anything like that, please feel free to ask, and if I can answer them and help you, then I will do. More than happy to. And I'll leave you with a couple of stills of what Berringer Station looks like at night with platform 5 lit up. So bye for now.